Oh, look at that. Fucking thing. Pain in the ass. Where's the new one? Here it is. When in doubt, slam it with a fucking hammer. Lovely. Now I can just take a new one and hammer it in. After we clean it up, of course. Yay. Alrighty. I feel like I'm not doing very in-depth stuff because I'm looking for videos like this and I can't find shit. Because most everyone, they're talking about the rear main seal. Because, you know, this thing's a fucking pain in the ass to take out. But, I mean, at the same time, a lot of things are a pain in the ass to take out, especially on older vehicles. You know, we got an 89 Cherokee Pioneer, and this motherfucker's had some miles on it. So things are not easy to take out. Freeze plugs fall apart. Gaskets are stuck in there like nobody's fucking business. Gotta sit there for hours scraping the shit. So, here we got the timing cover right here, alright? You have your front crankshaft seal. So your crankshaft will actually go through here, and this seal right here, it's two pieces technically. It's got metal on the outside and the top to give it a lot of strength, and on the inside, it's got rubber. So first when I looked at this, I'm like, alright, what the hell does the thing look like? Because at the top, it's metal. I thought I was fucking up the case. But this entire piece comes out, and it's got a backing plate on there. So you can hit it from behind through that little slot right there. You flip it over, you can see it through right here. You take a screwdriver and try and angle it in there and just whack away. Same thing also on the front. The easiest thing I find when they're stuck in here, first go from the outside, alright, where it's sealed. When you have your seal, you want to try and break the gap before it'll move. I mean, you can sit on there and hit it for fucking hours, and it just won't move. So you have to break the seal first, and then start hitting on it. So if you look right here, you take the driver at an angle and hit it this way to try and warp the metal and just bend it away ever so slightly to try and separate it, and then it'll come right out. And then the new one, you just take a really large socket and hammer it in there. Just make it seal. I'm going to clean all that crap out of there. But that's the same process for the rear main seal. I mean, over here, you can see where it was separated. The actual rubber was coming off the metal. If it'll focus, I don't know if it will or not. But I took a punch, like a really, really thin punch, and hammered it between the seal and the block to separate it. Because you're trying to separate it first before it'll move. Same thing with these guys. I mean, this was the opposite. Instead of taking something small, we took something really big punch to get those to come out. But I mean, everything in older vehicles, they just don't want to move. All this stuff is just so damn old. So yeah, I don't know. Biggest thing to recap is to just try different things. And for the most part, you want to break the seal before you can remove the seal. So you got to think about how it's connected to the other part. And this is metal on metal. So I tried driving a real thin screwdriver in between them, and that just wouldn't move because this is really strong. So since I couldn't get between there, you go from an angle to try and warp it to bend it out. And you know, just keep going at it. It'll come out. Try like I also have this sit on like a piece of wood for leverage. So or not leverage, but like angle. And you can also try flipping it over and trying to hit at an angle to try and get that thing out. But just keep hitting at it. It'll come out. All right, people. Good luck. I got to crank down my new timing chain set. So for the camshaft sprocket, I think that's what this is, camshaft sprocket, yeah. That bolt gets 80 foot-pounds of torque. And, well, this one doesn't get any torque because there's not a bolt on it. But the oil slinger, I think that's what it was, is an oil slinger. It goes on here, the cup side faces out. So, time to put down a bolt. And also make sure that this guy's on there the way it should be. So yeah, also, if you look, my timing marks are recentered. There they are. Timing mark number 1 and number 2. So they're pretty much even. Okay, so let's get to work. Alright, just to show you guys real quick. Here's the inside. So that's all torqued up. It's got the spring clip bolt in there. This thing just pulls out and it also just goes right back in. So it's just this little bolt right here. I guess the spring part's still in there because I don't think I've ever taken the spring part out, but if you can actually push it in, and it's got like a bounce to it. And this cup goes on like this. So you just slide it over the keyhole, and there you go. Ta-da! Alright, so gonna put gasket on the engine block and seal this sucker up. Let's see how it goes. I'll probably also put a little, I'll put some RTV at these corners. That's what you're supposed to do. I don't know if it's as recommended for the rubber gaskets, but I'm going to put a little bit anyway on the sides. Okay, now for real this time. Alright, here we are so far. So, I got RTV on these edges, mostly on the outside, where the gasket doesn't touch the oil pan, and on this side too. And also put a thin strip along the on this gasket on the inside, so that'll hold it to the block and make it stick and all that good stuff. Put some bolts in there to just try and keep it aligned a little bit. So I'll let that sit for just a little bit so it can tack up, it doesn't move around too much, and then I'll put the cover on. I might also have to put some on the other side too. So, I don't know. We'll see what goes on. I'll let you know. Here's our thin coat on the edge. I just put it on the inner edge and on the corners where everything's going to line up. So, let's do this. Here's the bolts we got so far that I took off the oil pan and put in the oil pan thing. We have these 4 bolts here, which if you notice look very similar to the oil pans, because they are. These are the 4 bolts that go underneath. These 5 bolts are the ones that go into the thin holes, and then these 2, I'm not too sure. They go into one of the bigger ones. So, here we are. Got it all on. Okay, so, small bolts. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can't see it, but behind this cover, 5, right there. This guy. That's number 5 of the small ones. That longer one goes here, because it has to dig farther into the block. The 4 went underneath on the oil pan, and then this big one goes here. At least from what I know. They'll fit. So then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, which I guess are for different things. This, I'm guessing, is for the air conditioner, air compressor, air conditioner, and then these 3 are for the alternator bracket. So let's take a look underneath. Ooh. Okay, so I did get that lip in. It wasn't really that difficult, because the middle, it's got this little tab here, so I got the tab in, and then I just took my finger and ran along the lip to flick it on the outside. So that's good. I can't vouch for the inside, but I know that at least for the outside, the lip is where it's supposed to be. You can see a little bit of RTV sticking out over there. I don't know about that side. But these bolts are all mildly tight. They're not torqued to what they should be, but they are just tight enough to be tight. Thanks, email. That's great. So hopefully those bolts line up. We should find out before everything dries. Ugh. I just gotta remember what the hell goes there. And how they go there. But yeah. That's what we got going so far.